Welcome, folks. Sonny Wong here. Just going to catch you up kind of on, my turning art into assets program that I was trying to start. I think it was earlier in the summer. So now here we are, it's December. And I kind of just run down the line about, my thoughts on how I started it, what I was trying to do, and where it's led me. As you might remember, if you checked in on those earlier episodes of Turning Art into Assets, I was trying to show people how they could make their art, take a good digital copy or take a nice photo, make prints, put it on drop shipping so that you have your original piece of art, but you still could sell the image that if someone loved it and they wanted to get it framed up, you could have it available at an affordable price. And you could still sell your original artwork for more, and as those prints sold, your piece gains value. The original becomes more and more valuable. So I started that with doing some block prints, and I was showing you my technique, how I was cutting, what type of materials I was using, how I would print the prints. I explained how I was scanning them and digitizing them in Illustrator, so they were vectors. Now these are black and white images, so a vector is clean. Here is like one of the first ones I was talking about. So it's this image of this wolf attacking like an elk or a buck, and it says, "Nature in the raw is seldom mild." And it's just kind of a thought of like, you want to be part of nature, you like nature, and well, nature's hardcore. And that's really just what this piece for me was about. Like, yeah, cool. Everyone wants to be cool, but nature is not all that. It's cool until you get eaten, or a hawk swoops you out of the air if you're a sparrow or something. So you can see I carved this on this like eraser style block printing material. And here's one of the prints. And so in those early episodes, when I went through the process of this one, I talked about putting it on Etsy, connecting my Etsy page with Printful, and sold some. I haven't even released the original series, so I have I only made 10 of those, so that later on I could release those and they'll be more valuable. And what I was trying to show people is how you could just, sure, if you want to be creative, you're writing stories, you're making paintings, you're drawing pictures, how to get your pictures out there, or whatever it is your creative asset is, and get it working for you. So here's a couple more examples. A nude reclining. I was actually working on a painting of this exact same thing, and this kind of goes in line also. So the painting is a big painting. It's going to be an expensive painting. It's like 6 feet wide by 4 feet tall. Like only a serious collector could buy that. It's going to be an expensive piece. But I liked the image and I wanted to be able to share the image. So I made a block print of it because I can make a series of 10, and each one of those might be, when it comes out, they might be $100 each, or 250, I don't know. I wanted to make something more valuable or less expensive for a purchaser. And at the same time, so I made those prints. I also scanned it and live traced it in Illustrator and cleaned it up and put it on a drop shipping, so it's like a couple bucks. Someone could get that and put it on their fridge for a couple bucks. It comes framed for like $30. You can get a nice framed one. So all of these were in the beginning of what I was trying to show you guys, like how you could take your art and make it work for you, still retain the originals as long as you want, build up the value, and eventually sell the originals if you want, or don't keep them. You know what I mean? They only get more valuable the longer you have them, no matter what anyone thinks. They might get thrown away when you die and your kids clean out your garage. I mean, that's the risk of how it goes. So while I was doing this, I thought, well, what's something that I normally don't do that I could use the exact same process that I'm trying to tell you? So it's like, what if you're not a visual artist and you're listening to me going like, cool, Sonny Wong, I don't paint. So I decided I would do something that was outside of my zone, which was to write a book and do the same thing. Like, to me, it was the same idea. How do I make this thing and then make it available at mass and sell it online? Because online, there's millions of customers. And at millions of customers, I only have to sell like, 1% for $10, and you're killing it. So what I decided to do, and some of you guys know who's been following me, I decided I was going on a trip to Greece and then to Italy, and the trip was 21 days long. So it was a big trip, and I told myself I knew every day was going to be just rad. I was traveling with my wife. We were meeting some friends in Greece, and then my wife and I were going for 2 weeks to Italy. And I know my wife is a go-getter when we're traveling. There's not going to be a boring day. There's not laying around, not doing anything day. And I thought, man, if I just wrote what I did during that day, every day, and made that a chapter. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be the longest book in the world. But so I went on this trip, and I had my laptop and I have Google Docs. And every single night when we were done, no matter what I was doing, I would write as much as I could about that day. I could clean it up later. I just wanted to make sure I got it down. And I did. So at the end of 21 days, I had all of this stuff written down. Now, I didn't really even know how to publish a book or anything. A homie of mine, shout out to Calder Hatton, Big Cal from Dirty Rats, he actually published a book not long before I went on this trip. And I hit him up and I was like, man, how did you do that? Like, what did it cost? And he was like, bro, go to Amazon. You can do it for free. It's the Kindle direct print. And I looked into it, and sure enough, you sign up for an account. If you have an Amazon account, you can just use that same Amazon account. They have a way to upload your documents and make a cover. I made a cover on my own with Illustrator and then imported it, but you could do it all within their own program, and it's all free. So I was like, cool. Well, then I'm gonna try to do the same thing for people who are writing and not making art. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put a book out there. I'm gonna see what it takes to sell it. And so I did. I went through the process. I jumped through the hoops, and I published a book. It's like a travel memoir about, drinking and eating and hanging out with friends and exploring beaches and riding trains and the follies of travel, trying to make things on time when other things are delayed. I think it's a good book. I like it. I read it, obviously. So, yeah. So this is the book. It's not major long. It's like 150 pages, but this is a book. It's online. You could go to Amazon.com. Cold Beer, Cruel World. And it's on there. So I have a book that I can sell over and over and over, depending on how I promote it, if I market it, if I'm talking about it, if I'm putting out in readers groups, or you pay for some advertising on Amazon or on Facebook or on Instagram, and you get thousands and thousands of eyes on it. So this all came from turning art into assets, trying to make something that was outside of my comfort frame. And boom, I did it. You could do it too. Now, after I did that, I was like, dang, it is easy to publish a book. But I know it's daunting, especially if you don't have anyone around telling you like, yo, you could do this. This is not tough. You just got to go through the steps. And so I was like, man, turning art into assets, I could be explaining this stuff, but I just wrote a book. I published it. I could literally write this plan down in a book and sell that on Amazon too, or sell it on my website. So here it is. I did the same process. I wrote everything out. I made the art and laid it all out. Now, I personally laid mine out in InDesign, but that's because I'm a graphic designer and I know how to use those programs. But inside of Amazon, the KDP, which is Kindle Direct Printing, I believe, or maybe it's Kindle Digital Printing, but you can do ebooks, soft covers, and hardcovers all at the same time. And so here it is. Here's the instructions or my philosophy on turning your art into assets and what it takes to do that and the steps that I went through. And even like, you know, this is like 30 years of me not making shit that worked to finally get to the things that do. You know, I'm 51 years old now. I've been through the trenches. This is the like cheat sheet. That's it. So again, all this started from me just trying to explain to people like, yo, we can do this. We're creative. We can get our stuff online. We can get to so many eyes, way more than, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. You'd have to put advertising in like a newspaper or a periodical or something. You couldn't afford to get a national ad, probably. Most people couldn't. You couldn't put an ad on television. That's the only place you'd see something like this, or maybe some late night TV, you know, on some public service stuff. I don't know. But now the world is your oyster and it's open for business. So I'm just checking in tonight to let you know that, you know, that's where this journey has led me. And I wanted to kind of make it a series where I was doing these things often, and I'm going to try to get back into that. But it kind of snowballed into these other projects. And I just want to check in with you guys and let you know, like, that's how it could happen for any of us. Anyone could do what I'm doing. I'm not special, but I do follow through. And sometimes that's all the secret sauce is like 1% a day, 1% better a day. Like, what can I do today that's just 1% better, or get my plan one step further down the path? It's really not tough. And you got to have that mindset every day. Like, it might need to be the first thing you do. Like, hey, the first 15 minutes I do is like a couple more steps towards a goal. I'm trying to be better about that. And I think I'm actually pretty good at it. I consider it almost like, it's like hitting the gym or whatever. Like, you got to be consistent. You got to do your reps. You got to show up, and it starts to work out. And even so, for all the stuff I just shared with you, the next part of this thing for me that it's snowballed into is I've created a new business from this. So I started a business with my partner, Zach. It's called Mind Sprout Studios, where we are making tools that enable people to get this stuff. It aids them in getting it. So, you know, we're living in the age of AI. There's no getting around that. And I know a lot of my creative friends hate that. But what I think a lot of people get hung up on things are like the creative things that AI does for people, like Mid-Journey or, you know, like generating art or vision or videos. And that's all cool. And you don't want to do that, don't touch that. But the one thing that you probably should take advantage of is that it can help you automate things. It can help you go through processes quicker, do research quicker. It can shave time. And I don't know about you guys, but literally the most valuable thing I have is my time. I never have enough time, man. My weeks go by like, bam. I've got so much shit popping. My schedule is packed that when I started learning these tools that help me get more time or finish things quicker, it's been, it's mind-blowing. It literally has put so much wind in my sails because I can get so much more stuff done. And at Mind Sprout Studios, we're building out these tools that can help creative people get these packages that are pre-designed GPTs. Now, you have to have Chat GPT, like the Pro version, which is $20 a month, to be able to get these custom GPTs. But there are systems that help you from figure out what your product is, what your brand voice is, and your brand could be anything. It could be you, or it could literally be your business, and you have never thought these things out. What is my brand story? What is my tone? What do I represent? Who do I even aim for as a target audience? These I've set these systems up that you go through 1, 2, 3, 4. It lays it all out for you. Helps make copy. It'll help. It's pretty valuable stuff. And I will dive deeper into that. I don't want to ramble on too long. This is already at 15 minutes. So I'm going to check in with you guys also, very soon, kind of explaining the things that I'm building for Mindsprout Studios. And it is for entrepreneurs, creative people, companies that have brands that are releasing specific products one at a time. It's probably the best work I've ever done in my life. I'm very proud of it. And it really is going to be a helpful tool for people who, they don't know where to start. It's going to help you get down the path check by check. And like I said, I couldn't be more excited about it. It has been, there are times like when I'm like so gassed about a painting or something that I can't sleep. I wake up, I'm like, I want to go paint. That's how this project has been. I'll wake up at 3 in the morning being like, oh, I got to go build on this. I'm going to make it better. I'm adding features and functions and, oh man, it actually, yeah, I'm stoked. And I think anyone who wants to talk about it or look into it or doesn't understand what I'm talking about, I'm here to help. And I want to talk about it. And I want you to succeed as bad as I want me to succeed. So, what is that saying? Like, tide raises all ships. That's what I'm talking about for all of us. So let's get it. Check in mindsproutstudios.com. You can see what I've got up there right now. I'm still building the site out, so it's pretty dialed right now, but I'm adding things that I think will make more sense to people who have no idea what I'm talking about. Because it is kind of complicated. When I talk about these systems, I've been working on them now really fucking hard for months. So to me, I'm like, it makes total sense. But I know, like, when I explain it to someone the first time, they're just like, what, Sonny Wong? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you I'm building tools for creatives and people right now that will help you get to the finish line quick. And that's about it. Well, Saturday night, I'm in my studio. I'm going to paint for a while. I'm actually going to flip this and do some live painting. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. It's almost Christmas time. I hope you get to spend time with your family, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. I hope it's a good time for you. It's going to be a good time for me. I'm a fresh grandpa. I've got my brand new granddaughter. So that's my second grandchild. My wife's daughter has a little grandbaby boy. Now we've got a grandbaby girl, Winona, and we're so excited. It's funny to think that here I am still painting, drawing graffiti. I know I look much older than I did, but I still feel like a kid. But to be a grandparent is like, that's some good stuff, especially after, raising kids. And when you're young and you have your own kids, it's all new and scary. And hey, you don't even have your shit together in life anyway. You don't get your shit together in life for a long time. To be in a place where you can hold your grandchild and you're already in that place. And there's no pressure on you to, change diapers, or you can change diapers and help, but it's not the same pressure. It's amazing. And I cannot wait to watch these kids grow up. I feel so old even saying that. I cannot wait to be part of these children's lives and influence them in the best way possible that I can. And just also to see the joy of children when they're happy and they're not mad teenagers and all that stuff. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. All right, y'all. Here we are. It's almost 20 minutes into this video. I'm done. And yeah, check it out. Mindsproutstudios.com. Check out my book, Cold Beer, Cruel World, my travel memoir in Greece and Italy. And it's a wild adventure, turning art into assets. You can find both those books on Amazon.com or at coldtothewild.com. And other than that, here we are coming up on 20, so boom, cut this shit. All right, y'all. Excuse me. Peace, much love, and I'll catch you very soon. to explain more about MindSprout.